everyone, welcome back to a new video. I hope you're all doing really well. This is going to be a lower body focus flow, a nice short flow that you can do at any time, maybe at the end of the day if you've been sitting for a long period of time. Really nice to get into the hips and just let everything release. So we're going to come down onto our backs to begin with. So make your way down. Allow everything to soften onto the mat. And we're just going to bend the knees to begin with. Allow the feet to come out towards the edges of the mat. And then allow the knees to soften. You can place the hands on your belly or maybe out to the side, palms facing up. And just allow the eyes to close if you're comfortable. Allow the arms to soften. And then bringing the breath down into the belly. And perhaps start to send that breath down towards the hips, the lower body. And you can even place your hands on the thighs. Just imagining everything softening in that area. Start to deepen the breath down into the belly. So as you breathe in, allow the belly to rise, expanding through the chest. And then as you exhale, allow it to softly come back down. And just check in with the face, the shoulders. Notice if any tension has crept in. Maybe letting go of the day that you've just had, or maybe letting go of any expectations throughout your day. Take one big breath in, and then exhale through the mouth, let it go. Please start to gently move the fingers, the toes, and then softly allow the knees to come in towards the chest. Hugging them in, maybe find a little bit of movement. Now from here we've got a couple of options. We can either rock and roll to come up to a child's pose, or we can move onto one side. So if you're coming into a rock and roll, you're going to bring the hands behind the thighs and start to use a bit of momentum to roll yourself up. Getting into the spine a little bit as we move, maybe have just a little bit of fun with it here, maybe 4 or 5 times until eventually we bring ourselves up, cross at the ankles, bring the hands down and then make your way back to a child's pose. So widen out through the knees, bring the big toes to touch and then sit the hips back. Allow the arms to stretch out in front of you and allow the forehead to release, the heart space to release. And you can bring any props or blankets underneath the hips and feet. And then from here, maybe start to sway from side to side. So get a little bit of movement in, maybe releasing any tension from the forehead. I'm just going to take a couple of breaths here, really expanding through the back of the body. And slowly press into the hands as we gently lift up. Start to curl through the toes, lift the hips up and back. We're going to find our first downward facing dog. So bend the knees nice and generously here, press into the hands, lengthen through the spine. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Nice, one more time, inhale. And exhale, let it go. Now start to walk the feet out, the back of the legs, really getting every piece of tension out of there. Okay, slowly start to walk the hands back towards the feet. And a nice big forward fold, maybe separate the feet a little bit wider than hip distance, holding onto either elbows and relax the back of the head, the crown of the head. And then maybe find a little bit of a sway here from side to side. releasing the back of the legs, finding that nice stretch. And then release the hands down. We're going to heel toe the feet out towards the edges of the mat. So toes facing out, heels facing in. And then allow the hips to come down. We're going to come in tri-yogic squat. Bringing the elbows to the inside of the knees, hands towards the heart space. Now your heels don't have to come down, they can be lifted. You can stay up, maybe sitting onto a block or a prop if you have one. You don't have to come all the way down. Make this as comfortable as possible for you. We lengthen through the spine, heart space facing forwards, nice and open. Okay, maybe we find some movement here just from side to side. Maybe you close your eyes, maybe we gaze just gently forwards. And then allow the hands to come down, start to lift through the heels, and heel toe the feet back towards each other, and start to walk the hands forwards back to your downward facing dog. As we inhale, start to lift through the right leg. Exhale, draw the knee in towards the chest, and step the foot to the top right of the mat. So we're coming into our lizard pose here. So we're going to keep the hands to the inside of the foot, and find a bit of movement. Find a really nice stretch for the hips. So perhaps moving forwards and backwards, maybe side to side. And then here, leaving the left hand where it is, the right arm reaches up towards the sky. Start to open out through the top. Keep pressing into that left hand. And of course, you can drop this back knee if you need. Take a big breath in. And exhale, release the hands down. Step that right foot back to your downward facing dog. As you inhale, lift through the left leg. Exhale, draw the knee in towards the chest, really round through the spine. And step that left foot to the top left of the mat. Hands come to the inside. We start to find a little bit of movement through the hips. So maybe side to side, forwards and backwards. Keeping your breath moving with it. Keeping the right hand where it is, the left arm can reach up. And again, you can drop that back knee if you wish. Really nice opening through the top half of the body. And then as you exhale, bring the hand down, step back to a plank this time. So a nice strong plank, take a breath. Gently gaze forwards. As you exhale, lower through the knees. Release the toes, send the elbows backwards as we lower the body all the way down. Pressing into the hands and the tops of the feet. Inhale, lift up. Open up through the heart space. Exhale as you release down. Curl the toes. Lift up and back. We're going to come into a child's pose. You can widen through the knees as much as you need here. Reaching the arms forwards, or maybe the hands come into prayer and up and back towards the base of the neck. Maybe just noticing any changes in this child's pose as opposed to the beginning of the class. Notice any changes in the mind. Just start to slow the breath down. Slowly release the hands, press into the arms and start to lift through the head, the heart space. Walk the hands back towards the knees. Bring the knees together. And just take a moment to bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart space. Starting to soften, close through the eyes. And just bring that breath down into the belly. Take a moment to soften. So actively softening through the face, the jaw, the shoulders. even the belly, the legs. And just take a moment to thank yourself for practicing, taking some time for you, and just take a moment to thank yourself for practicing, taking some time for yourself on the mat. Take a nice big breath in. And exhale, let it go. Bring the hands to your heart space, allow the head to bow towards the hands. Thank you all so much for joining me for this flow. I hope you enjoyed it. Please check out all the other videos and the next two come in 10-minute series, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.